do some dyeing of yarn with food colouring. This is something you can do at home. You don't need any special equipment for it, and you also don't need masks or any of the other crap people wear to dye yarn professionally. Sometimes even a completely separate space. I just do it here, but things you will need: yarn made of animal fibre. Thanks, Molly. Yarn made of animal fibre. This one is 100% merino. I say animal fibre, it's natural fibres, but not cotton. Cotton is made of something else. Can't dye it with these, it doesn't stick. You need special cotton dyes, protein dyes, they're called. And this one is sock yarn, which is, I'm trying to remember. Sorry, am I boring you? I think it's 75% merino, 25% nylon. Nylon you can dye with this and it will stay. But cotton, stuff, bamboo, stuff like that, not so much. So you are going to have to stick with animal fibres and the nylon for this. The thing I've found is with food colouring, it sticks and it's colour fast. You can put it through the washing machine perfectly fine. However, over time, they fade in light. So they're not 100% light fast. I especially found that red is not at all light fast. So just bear that in mind when you're making stuff with this yarn. Don't try and make heirlooms with stuff that you've dyed with food colouring. Okay, first thing you need is a tub of water. I've just put a bit of washing up liquid in this. You can put wool soak or any of those kind of things in it, but you just need something that's going to open the little scales on the fibres on the wool. And to add to that, I've got citric acid. I just sprinkle it in liberally. And by that I mean I take the lid off and just pour it in. It's chunky. But you can also use vinegar. I just don't like the smell of it. I'm going to just mix that in a little bit because I've got little chunks of citric acid in there. That helps the colour adhere to the yarn, and the more acidic your water, the faster the colour will stick. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we're just going to soak these. They need to be completely wet. Make sure to squeeze all the air bubbles out. I think for one of these we'll do just a all over colour, and one of them we'll do, a bit fancy. We'll do the all over colour on this one. This is a DK weight merino. Well, it's actually a light DK. One of ones that you can buy from my shop. It's actually my favourite to knit with because it's got a really nice spin on it. Got a rounded spin to make some really nice uniform stitches. So that just needs to be wet, so that's done. I mean, you could in theory just add dye to this and then heat this in your microwave if you wanted to, and then you're done. But we'll go a bit fancy. I'm getting water literally. These ones, I am gonna do the steam method. So you could, this is a microwave safe container, so you could just bang that whole thing in the microwave if you wanted to. But today I'm gonna use the steam insert on the hand and some clean. This is mostly so you don't get dye friggin' all over everything. Always wear old clothes or an apron or something for this, because otherwise you need it everywhere. Okay, let's mix some colour. The easiest way to get these to solubilize, I don't know the word I'm looking for, is with hot water. This is kind of warm from earlier. I'm not going to make more. And I'm going to fill it all the way up. There's probably about 200 ml of water in there. The more water you add, the lighter your colour is going to be. So just bear that in mind. You can test your colour on a piece of paper towel, see how it's going to look. Mostly that's pretty much an accurate representation of the colour if you drip it onto a paper towel. Once it's fully dissolved. So that is probably what's going to happen to me. I don't even know if you can see that properly. I'm just going to put it there as well. Okay. Can you see how the blue is separating from it? Okay, so we have our 3 colours, and that's kind of how they're going to come out on our yarn. And I'm going to wash my hands because I don't want to put the dye that's on my hand in there with the other yarn. Okay, yeah, because obviously I'm too disorganised to get gloves. So this is the sock yarn, and you just want to squeeze out as much moisture as possible from it. Right, find one of the ties to lay it out organised, sort of semi-organised with. Always make sure your yarn's got at least 3 ties on it, otherwise you're going to get a big friggin' tangle. Ask me how I know. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do that in a U shape because my cling film's not long enough. Of course it's not. I have my handy dandy spoon race to put these on. $5 at Kmart. Okay, that's not a great view, but it's gonna have to do, okay? Right. So yeah, I always start with the darkest colour first, which is this purple, which I've just almost brought all over myself, so that's great. You can just, this is where your imagination can just take over. You can do whatever you like. I'm just gonna look, because I didn't use hot water. Always use hot water, people. Okay, so you've got a little bit of excess, but when you wrap this up, the excess is going to go back into the yarn. And as you can see, we've got loads of extra space to put our blue and our pink on. I'm going to do pink last because I want it to fill in the gaps where we've got space, which is probably going to be this bit because, yeah. Okay. Ooh. This is not going to ever be... You can paint this on if you really want it to be in exactly the right place, but I warn you, you can put it in exactly the right place and then you put it in the steamer and it comes out and it's completely different. So this is a little bit more alchemy than an exact science. Okay, let's stick some pink on, which by the way is coming out very red. It said rose. All right, I'm holding it up so it doesn't run everywhere. Now you need to sort of wrap her up. And then while you're wrapping it, just try and get the dye to go onto the bits that are still white, so you can smoosh it a little bit with your fingers. Ah! More water coming out this end. We've sprung a leak. Okay, so once it's wrapped, grab your steamer and plop it in. You're going to get a bit of colour in the water, but cling film should protect from the majority of this. Okay, so there's a little bit of water in the bottom of this, and I'm just going to put the lid on. And you just want it to be hot. You don't want to burn it, you don't want to boil it, you just want the yarn to be hot and it sets the colour. So we're going to put that on. We still want, I don't want to take all the water out of this one, I want it to still be pretty wet because I want the colour to spread quickly. You don't want any white bits on this one. So, might even add some be enough. Basically, so it's got a little bit of room to move, and if you want, you're going to stick your hands in this. Just putting that out there. You are going to want quite a lot of this, because it's just not going to do anything. And my vacuum started. Excelente. This is the finished product from yesterday. It's still pretty damp, especially the grey one. As you can see, sorry if you can hear chewing, Molly is standing next to me eating grass. As you can see from this was the one we did with that shitload of black that I put on it, and as you can see, it's a very attractive grey, but it's not anywhere near a black, is it? So if you want to do food dye yarn, don't bother with black unless you really like this very attractive mild grey, it is very attractive, but it's just that was a lot of black that we put on that, and it just did not take. So 0 out of 10 for our black. But this baby over here, holy cow, look at the colours on her. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's still a little bit wet, so watch yourself. So you still got the variegation from where we've left a little bit of it white, and you got the redness from the rose and the purpleness and the blue, and yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with how that one came out, and it'll be a good one to add to my extensive collection. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you want to head on over to Instagram, feel free to
tag me in any of your own colour adventures if you give this a go. This is a pretty good one to do with kids over the summer holidays, I've found, because you don't need any special equipment for it. And, they enjoy getting covered in food dye. Anyway, okay.